and welcome to my channel. Today, a few more questions that women ask before walking the Camino. I'll be sharing some real concerns that women have and the answers to clear up those concerns. My name is Linda G. Robert. I'm your Back in the Groove Again coach, here to help you live your best life now so you can love what you do. I came back from walking the Portuguese way, the Central Route, with a friend in late October. And last year, I walked the Del Norte on my own. And yes, the Camino is calling me again. And I'm not sure which one that I'll be walking next. Perhaps the coastal route. And of course, you're invited to join me. So before I share these three questions, I encourage you to download my guide. It's a 10-step guide, and you'll find it at www.lindagroberts.com/Camino. So that's my 10 steps guide to help you prepare to walk the Camino at lindagrobert.com/Camino. All right, so let's get started. And here is the first question. This applies mostly for women, like I was saying. Are there enough washrooms along the Camino? This is a really important question. So the answer is yes, but it does depend on the route and the region that you're taking. So on popular routes like the Camino Frances, you're going to find washrooms in cafes and bars and restaurants in most towns and villages along the way. There's quite a few of them. Many pilgrims stop for a drink or for a snack to use the facilities. However, in more rural stretches, public washrooms can be scarce, like on the Del Norte. So it's a good idea to bring some toilet paper with you or some tissues, or perhaps a small bag for waste, just in case you need to use the great outdoors. And I had to do that once in the middle of nowhere when I walked the Camino, and I wasn't expecting to have to do that. I just couldn't help it. I had to go, if you know what I mean. And so I picked, it wasn't even a trail, it was a country road in the fields behind a bush. I wasn't expecting that. So you want to keep these things in mind because they're not always preventable. So let's keep going. And also remember on that note that you always want to follow the leave no trace principles, of course, to respect the environment. Okay, question number 2. Can I take a taxi if I can't walk anymore? That's a really important question. And it doesn't really depend on age or anything like that, because maybe you won't feel like walking in the rain, for example. So, of course, the answer is yes, absolutely. Taking a taxi is very common. It's a common solution if you're too tired, if you're injured, you simply need a break. Maybe you're tired of the rain if it's raining. Yes, you can take a taxi, you can take a bus. Now, many pilgrims use taxis to skip some challenging sections or to cover extra distance when they're short on time. So remember, it's your Camino. So here are a few tips for you for taking a taxi. It's important for you to know your location. So make sure you know the name of the town or the village where you are located. And you may not remember, because after a while they all look the same. You may need to also have a very good Wi-Fi reception. Well, apps like the Wise Pilgrim, that's the one I use, would help you determine your very specific location. Another tip is to ask locals, of course, for help. And that is if there are locals around. You might not have access to a phone. Most locals or hostels can call a taxi for you, and that wouldn't be an issue. Now, remember, the Camino is your journey, and there's no right or wrong way to complete it. And taking a taxi doesn't diminish the experience. It's really about listening to your body and making choices that work for you. All right, here is the last question, and this one has been asked before. So the question is, how safe is the Camino for solo women travelers? Now, I've answered this before, so you can check out, my other video, but it's worth repeating because safety is really, really important for all of us, right? Now, we know that the Camino is generally considered very safe for solo travelers, whether you're a woman or a man. Now, a lot of women walk the Camino alone every year and find it really to be an empowering experience, very enriching experience. I know that when I walked the Del Norte, I felt safe and it did feel like I was empowering myself. So you want to keep that in mind. Now, but to enhance your safety, you want to stick to popular routes. So routes like the Camino Frances are well traveled with plenty of fellow pilgrims walking it, but other routes, such as the Camino de Invierno, is lesser known and offers an off the beaten path experience. So if you're concerned with safety, you'd have to take extra precautions, of course. Now, when I was walking the Del Norte, I felt absolutely safe all the way, but that's how I felt. You want to trust your instinct, right? You also want to stay in albergues or hostels, accommodations with good reviews as well. Many hostels are run by hospitable hosts, which who prioritize pilgrim safety. You want to be cautious but open as well. While the Camino fosters a strong sense of community, trust your instincts when you're interacting with other people. Trust your gut. So use apps like the Wise Program, for example. There are other apps as well to help guide you. So yes, of course you can follow the arrows. And when in doubt, though, check the app to make sure that you're on the right route. Now, the Camino is known for its friendly and supportive atmosphere. And of course, you'll likely find yourself surrounded by like-minded people who are really there to help you if you need that. It's also a great opportunity to build confidence and enjoy a solo trip, solo adventure in a safe environment. So choose your route wisely, making sure that you have the app, that you have a power pack with you as well, because if you run out of battery, well, then you might not be able to contact someone if you need to do that. Now, in my case, I booked with a company, Galley Wonders, and if I needed to, I had an emergency number to call. So I always felt like I was able to call. Just a short note on the SIM card. Now, I didn't know this at the beginning, but when I first got to Spain, I did get a SIM card, which was great. But what I didn't know is that I needed to have a PIN number to access the SIM card, access my phone, I should say. So on that one day, I didn't have the PIN number. I didn't know I needed it. And of course, my phone, I had closed my phone because I want to save power. And then when it was time to power it up again, I needed the PIN, no PIN. So if you get a SIM card, make sure that you either ask if you need a PIN or look at the little paper that comes with it. And if it has a PIN number, that might mean you need a PIN, and carry that with you in your day pack. Don't leave it in your suitcase because you never know, you might need to have the PIN. All right, so on that note, what you might want to do too is check out some of the other videos that I have that are answering other questions. Take care. Oh, don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel as well. All right, take care. Bye-bye now.